I was called to the principal's office because my daughter's lunch was making the other kids uncomfortable yesterday. I sat across from my daughter's principal as she suggested I stop sending ethnic foods in my child's lunchbox after another parent complained. Today, the entire school received my recipe for the disruptive chicken katsas that apparently threatened the delicate balance of the second grade lunch table. I've always packed bento boxes for my 8-year-old daughter, Bully. It's how my Japanese grandmother fed me, how my mother fed me, and now it's our tradition. Bully helps me prepare her lunches, cutting vegetables into stars, packing perfectly sectioned boxes with ongiri, tamago, edamame, and whatever else we've cooked that week. It's our special time together connecting to her heritage in a predominantly white suburban school. Last Thursday, I received an email from Bill's teacher requesting I come in for a lunch discussion with the principal. No other details. I assumed it was about ALDAS or a new school policy. When I arrived, Principal Davis sat behind her desk with a tight smile. Mrs. Chen, thank you for coming in. We need to discuss Barai's unusual lunches. Unusual? I asked. We've had concerns from parents that the food you are sending is disruptive to the lunchroom environment. Some children find the smell overwhelming and frankly, the appearance is making students uncomfortable. I stared at her, certain I'd misheard. You are asking me to stop sending Japanese food with my half-Japanese daughter? She smiled, that administrator smile that never reaches the eyes. We encourage cultural appreciation, of course, but perhaps you could send more standard options, tarties, sandwiches, things the other children are familiar with. Which parent complained? I asked. I can't share that information, she replied, though her eyes briefly flickered toward the door, where I'd passed Amanda Wilson on my way and Porn, the PTA president, whose son sat next to Bulsey. I took a deep breath. My daughter is not bringing unusual food. She's bringing food that reflects half of her cultural heritage. Food her grandmother made that my mother made, that I make food that is completely normal to us. We just want all our students to feel comfortable, she insisted. And my daughter, should she feel comfortable hiding who she is to make others less uncomfortable? The principal shifted in her seat. No one is suggesting that, Mrs. Chen, aren't you though? I asked. What message does it send my daughter when her food toward her culture part is labeled disruptive? I left the meeting seething, drove straight to the Asian market and bought ingredients for Mosie's favorite chicken katsu. That evening I took photos of every step as Bulsey, and I prepared it together. I wrote up the recipe complete with cultural context, nutritional information, and a note about the importance of exposing children to diverse foods. The next morning I emailed it to the entire parent list. Thank you, outdated PTA directory with the subject, the disruptive lunch that prepped at a principal meeting. Most parents were horrified by the school's approach. Several asked for more recipes. 3 Japanese American families I didn't even know existed in our district reached out in solidarity. Amanda Wilson sent a terse text. You didn't need to make this public, I replied. Racism thrives in private conversations, so does my chicken katsu recipe. One of those deserved to go public. This morning, Billy packed her bento box with extra care, adding a tiny American flag toothpick to her magiri. So it's multicultural, she explained with the perfect seriousness of an 8-year-old. The principal emailed an apology and announced a cultural food festival for next month. Some people think children should conform to make others comfortable. I think the uncomfortable ones might just need to try some chicken katsu.